That is a stunning piece of wood. I would have never thought in a million years that would have ended up coming out. Don't even see it very well because it's so shiny, the light's reflecting off of it. But I took that bit. So this is the project. I'm calling it my prehistoric bowl, as you can see from the title. The reason being is because it's old, chunky and rough around the edges, just like me. So sticky and horrible. So yes, so yeah, nothing else to say really. It's failed. No good. So I'll see you guys next week. Fresh new project, one that works. And take care. Speak to you soon, and bye for now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Turning with Terry on Sunday. Well, actually, I'm secret earworm today, so look out. Nicola's, I don't know where she's gone. However, I'd like to introduce you to Steve.
Jeez.
And I'll see you all later.
Oh dear, oh dear. Hi all, thanks for coming over and joining us. As you can see, Terry from TJ Turn has joined us today. Oh dear. Anyway, welcome to the Sunday Lunchtime Live. Thank you everybody for coming over and joining us. Hope you're all well. Hope you all had a great weekend. And thank you to all who came over and joined me on the fly on the wall yesterday afternoon. Quite enjoyed it actually. Just no pressure, no banter, whatever, just a bit of turn and a few friends in the background. Really good. So if you didn't come over last week, I will show you what we turned, because we're going to be finishing it off. So I started a piece of elder. We finished the back. I have actually refinished this because when I was doing the resin, I put my greasy fingerprints on it and put a couple of resin spots on the actual back. So I've refaced this and refinished this. So this has now had 2 coats of resin over it. I don't know if you can see that. Obviously we had Nick's hands putting in the hearts. We then put a resin over the top with some holographic glitter in it. And then once that cured, I then put another layer of clear lacquer over the top of it to get it all ready and finished, ready to finish today. So the plan is today, get this refaced. Going to take in just inside the resin line, and then we're going to hollow it out. And then I may do a bit of undercutting underneath the rim, but not too much. I don't want to make it too big inside. It's more of a feature bowl than anything else. So that's the plan. So while I get this mounted in the lathe, we'll go over to Terry and he'll welcome you all in.
Well, everybody, welcome again to Turning with Steve on Sunday. Right, so I'll read the chat out. I can start from the top of this. So we got Joe Senior. There probably was somebody before that, but this is where the chat starts for me. Joe Senior, Darren Kerosene, Callison, sorry, Wood Wizardry by Colin, Sid's Repurposing, Mark, the Gentleman Woodturner, Rob from Copper Owl, Mark Pritchard, Mike Yu. Down we go, they're chatting to each other. Let's have a look. And Chris Dodds, Peter Corcoran, Pete from Twisted Trees, and trying to find Didn't know you had so many people coming in. Terry Bartlett's in. Andrew from Wyvie Woodshed's in. Eric Winkler's in. Robert Dolman. Let's get a bit further. Lawrence Begage's in. Benjamin's in. Hello, Ben. And Brian Watkins. And I think that's it for now.
Well, welcome everybody. Basing what Ben's put. Wait, Terry. No, Nick. Later, guys. I'm off.
I'm just trying to find some carrots, people.
Nick's entertaining Terry's better half, Ruth, today. So she's being sociable. Oops.
It was either that or Rita had stayed with me. So I thought, well, you know. Barry's Wood Creators just joined us.
Hi, Barry. How you doing, bud? Right, so I'm going to put a smock on because obviously resin goes everywhere. So I hope everybody's well. Hope everybody's had a good weekend. So we'll see what happens. I've just turned my mic up a little bit, so if it's too loud, let me know and I'll turn it back down again.
It's fine for me.
Right. So just going to reface this off, really. I don't want to take a lot off of there because I want to try and get that as deep as I can. And we're just going to finish that off, and then we'll hollow this out, and then we'll spend a bit of time polishing this up to get a mirror-like finish on it. So,
Robbo Robertson's just popped in.
Hi, Robbo.
And we're turning by Barry.
Barry. Right, so it's a little bit high.
Ruby. Ruby's in. Ruby
Hi,
Claire.
Ruby. How you doing?
Michael McEwen.
Michael.
Don't forget, people, if you want to ask Steve a question, prefix it with a couple of question marks because I'm not brilliant with my eyeballs these days.
I don't want to be too aggressive with that resin. Who had this idea of doing a resin project?
Don't look at me.
Right, a bit more.
So Mark, the gentleman Woodturner's not in. He's in his car driving. It's Kim that's there.
Oh, hello, Kim.
Hello, Kim. I'm doing fine, Ruby. She just asked me how my favourite hobbit is.
Her favourite hobbies.
Fine, thank you, Ruby. Benjamin says, Steve, I went to the range and bought one of those tower storage drawers.
Oh,
They're
good man.
They're excellent. I
They
filled
are.
it right up.
Yeah, they are good. They're good for a good bit of storage.
Now he's going to get another one.
Was it expensive, Ben? Can I ask? Just
Andy H. Andy H is in.
Hi, Andy. So being epoxy resin, you can turn this down with traditional tools. It will take the edge off a traditional tool quicker than wood will, but you still can use traditional tools on it. Polyester is a bit too harsh to use traditional on, but you can use it, but it does dull your tools really quick. Polyester does. Right, so we're nearly there. Just taking fine cuts off of this, because if you're too aggressive with it, it will chip.
Ben still haven't told us how much he paid at the range.
Perhaps you don't want his partner to know.
That's what it is. $12.99, I expect.
Yeah.
I don't turn much resin, Steve, but do you use cup cutters on the carbide ones, or are they, the scraper type cutters?
No, they are the scraper type.
Hmm.
Not negative rake, just the ones that come with it.
Right.
To be honest, I've now gone over to using epoxy resin more than the polyester. So the carbides don't get used hardly at all really nowadays.
Right. Well, Ben's saying the one he bought was a little bit smaller than one you have, and it cost him £35 for 7 drawers, and the one you got is £40.
Oh, right, okay.
Rob Copperow says it seems the picture's a bit fuzzy, so it looks okay to me.
Fuzzy, is it?
It looks all right to me. Anybody else see that? Could be Rob's eyes are out of focus. I mean, the stickers on your lathe, Yorkshire Great Hampshire Sheen and the skkrafts one, they're sharp.
Let's just see what we can do. Hang on a second.
Ruby says her picture's clear.
Okay.
Mark Pritchard says okay where he is.
Right, so I've just manual focused it in, so what's everybody else think? Is everybody
saying okay, sharp here.
Oh, okay.
Looks good to me. So picture's clear in Tennessee.
Perhaps he ain't got his glasses on.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Looks alright to Robbo, but he can't see anyway. So Charlie Taylor's in.
Hi, Charlie. So
Brent. Sorry, go on.
No, you're all right.
Brent Beecroft just joined us. Good morning.
Hi, Brent. So we're nearly there with the resin.
Gav today Woodworks just joined.
Hi, Gav. So once I get that perfectly smooth, then we can put our final cut on it. We're nearly there, just got a little tiny bit there. Look.
Terry Bartlett says it's not crystal clear, but it's readable. Well, shouldn't have broken your ankle, Terry. Be okay then.
Perhaps it may be because I was sanding yesterday. Might be a bit of dust on the lens.
Bit of a brush, maybe.
Yeah. Let's just try something. Hang on.
Oh, it looks right to me.
Let me just try refocusing it in.
It still looks perfect.
All right, let's try that. That's the best. That's refocus itself in, so
Mm-hmm.
the camera can't see no better than what I can see.
I think Rob might have been out in a pop last night.
Poor old Rob. All right.
Anybody got any cauliflowers as well? Yeah, Pete says it is normally out of focus because it's normally his dusty glasses. See, Steve doesn't wear glasses, Pete. So as you know.
Oh, so close, so close.
So how deep were those letters then? Was it about quarter inch or something? Or?
I done the channel around about 6 or 7 mil deep. The hearts are only about 3 mil, and then I poured. So obviously we put the resin in. well, the hearts in, and I poured the resin in. So the hearts may be just floating on the top of the resin. So, but then there's a minimum of 2 mil resin over the top of the hearts to allow me to smooth this out.
Smooth it out.
Yeah. But like I said, it was just clear resin I put over the top because I didn't want to put any more. I didn't want to put any more glitter in it, so it actually sat on top of the hearts.
Right.
So I wanted the glitter at the bottom, not on the
No.
hearts.
Mm-hmm. I'll say it is impressive. I don't do the work like that. I've never tried it, so. But I may now.
Right.
Oh, we found out about Rob
Right.
Cobrell. Yeah, turns out his internet speed's only at 144p picture
Oh.
quality.
There you go.
So,
Knock it up to 1080 HD, mate.
yeah, that'll do it.
And I'm now hitting a heart there by the looks of that. A little bit of red come off of there.
Gas glass driftwood turner's just arrived. Hello, Gaz.
Just there. So I'm not taking no more off of that. I just had to put a little bit of red on there. So obviously I've taken more resin off than I thought I was going to take off. So we'll polish the rest out. So, look at the mess. Get off. So we'll start hogging out the middle bit now.
You currently have 50 people watching, by the way.
Oh, thank you everybody for coming over. Just going to sharpen this gouge up.
Door 60's just joined us, and that
Right.
camera is wobbling, Steve. Something's.
Is it?
Yeah.
Don't know why that's wobbling. Strange, and it has never wobbled before.
No.
Must be something resting on the. I'll have a bit of a scan after the live.
Well, you want to turn to that camera and carry on? I'll just have a quick look at the camera and make sure it's not touching anything.
This one's moving. That means the whole wall's moving.
Tailstock one is, yeah.
Oh, right, that one's all right.
That's cutting nice, Steve.
Never turned older before, but that actually turned quite nice.
Yeah. Sid's saying that's an awesome angle for the hollowing. It is a good one, isn't it? Stephen's in. We do.
Hi mate, how you doing? So I'm just going to turn that around a little tiny bit so I can just get to it a little bit easier. Actually, I've seen that shape on there now. I don't know if I want to undercut that.
It does look good.
Tool in there a bit further. I'm going to have to go to a traditional grind because that's quite a steep bottom in there. Yeah.
Gads is saying it looks amazing. He said it looks to be cutting so nicely, Joe. Yeah, I think he's been having lessons. Gads. Oh, I better get back to it.
Don't make me laugh. Dear, oh dear.
Onions next. Dr. Bob's in.
Hi, Bob. Dr. Bob, how you doing?
Circular Word by Keith just joined us. Hello, Keith.
Hi, Keith, how you doing, mate? Nice fine cuts. Got a little bit of a bounce in there. I don't know what's in there. There's a big old knot in there. That's why. So I'm not going to go no narrower than that. Can you see that? Yeah, it's about equal on there. So I'm not going to go no narrower than that. So that's about equal either side. But I just want to try and clean it out a little bit on that knot. It's bouncing on that knot a little bit. So I might just try a small bowl gouge and see if we can just clean that out a little bit.
Stuart and Greeley has just joined us.
Right,
Stuart.
Stuart, how you doing? I've changed my mind. I'm not going to undercut that because I like the shape of that. I think if I try and undercut that, it won't look right. So let's get it sanded up. Got a little bit of a tool mark in there. So try and sand that out. I'm going to be sanding this with the drill because we've got that tool mark in. I'm going to go for 80 grit to start with. Got extraction on.
You can see those marks have been bouncing off the knot. That's what's causing that.
Yeah.
By the way, for those that joined late, call me Nicola. She's otherwise entertaining.
Drill's got that. better. So it's 80 grit.
Dara Coulon's just joined us. Good morning, Darren.
Oh, Darren.
Dara, sorry.
Or Dara.
We've got a question from Eric. Eric Winkler says, question, Steve. When I try to undercut my gouge catches and makes a skipping mark across the face of the project. Can you show the angle that you would use on the project while not turning, please?
Right, so if I was undercutting, I would present the tool very similar to if I was going to start a cut. So, am I on the right camera? Yeah. So, I would bring the tool in. Now, let me put it on the finger grind first. So, I would present the tool as I'm coming in, but riding the bevel first. So, your bevel's rubbing on your wood first, and I would gently lift the handle until I start to feel it to cut, and then you can gently start to feed it in. But obviously, you need to be over your bed bars, unless you've got a swivel head where you could, like me, so you can turn it around. So, I would just gently go in that way and just gently work it out. Or, if I was lazy, you could use the Simon Hope carbide, and then you just gently scrape it out and undercut it that way. So 2 ways. What about you, Terry? How would you do it?
Yeah, I was going to say, you bring your tool around a little bit further to the middle and then start it almost vertical with the flutes.
Yep.
But the other one is the carbide one is good for going in there. So
it's safe. It's if you're not confident, it's the safer option.
Yeah.
Because you know you're not going to get a nasty catch on it.
Well, Rob was telling me that I said that Nicola was entertaining somewhere else, and he said, "Well, she's taller and better than you, better looking than you." But that's true, Rob. If you could see me now, I'm sitting on the chair that Nicola sits on, and my feet are foot off the ground, which is not good. Mark Pritchard's having to go. Bye, Mark.
See you, Mark. Thanks for coming over.
And Benjamin reckons it's not a Sunday live without Steve and Nikki having a domestic. Well, Steve and I can have a domestic if you like, Ben. It's not a problem. He never takes me anywhere.
No, Terry, it's my turn to lay on that side of the bed.
He never takes me anywhere, you know. It's my birthday next week and he was going to take me out. Drinking fish and chips.
Oh, no.
As an aside, Ruby has said next time you do something like that, it would be good to paint the timber underneath the letters black, and that will make them stand out a lot better.
Yeah, I agree, Ruby. I was actually going to do that to start with, but then I changed my mind because I didn't know, because I wanted the to pour the resin on the live. I didn't know how the black would react if it wasn't 100% dry. It would react with the resin, so that's why I went against it. But I totally agree with what you're saying. That would look better. So that's 240. I'm going to take this up to 400 grit. And then we're going to Yorkshire sand and seal it, Yorkshire grit it. I want to just colour that love heart as well that we've caught. Obviously that was a little bit closer to the surface than the rest. But we'll just colour it with a little bit of red.
Colin's made a good suggestion. Hashtag flowers for Terry.
So last one, 400.
Brent's wondering if I'm chopping carrots. I've already done that, Brent. You obviously weren't here, but I do have an onion to chop, so ready? That's my onion chopped.
Super fast.
Super fast.
So we just got that little love heart there we've caught. We'll just put a little bit of red on there. Turn the extraction on. Get the dust out of all those little knots. So first things first, let's just get that red touched up. So I'll use a bit of flame red. Hopefully that'll be good enough to cover that up. Honestly thought that was deep enough. Get a little pot. You'd have thought Nick would have brought us a drink out, wouldn't you? Eh?
We would do, really. I don't know if they're watching, but you know, we could have the geisha girls come out with their, you know, bikinis on, flashing the drinks.
I'll message her. No, I won't call her. I'll message her. There we go. Can you please drink drinks out? I'll even give her a kiss just to sweet talk her.
Oh, Ruth will come out with the drinks and do that.
Right, a little bit of red, just to touch that love heart up.
If she could bring a stool out for my foot to go on.
You don't want much, do you?
It's a long way down from this chair.
Well, don't fall off it. You'll be fine.
That's right, I put it on the shelf.
All right, so a little bit of red in it. Just wash my brush out. Just touch it up. Right, so just touch that red up as you can, that little heart up as you can see. So we just dry that with a hot air gun. If we turn it on, it'll help.
Trevor reads in, he's saying, Terry, you should have put the onion on the lathe and used it to peeling cut. Ah, that's a good one. We'll do that next time. I'll try that, Trevor. When I get home, it's only like 400 miles away.
A little bit of a, just need to sand that a little bit better. That's a little bit, just there. We've got a little bit of a resin overhang.
Oh, Brian of Woodturning is about to stand in the corner because I knew he wouldn't have brought cake. He's just joined us. Time to call this.
Hi, Brian. He's a busy man, Brian is.
Obviously overslept.
He's a busy man.
What have you been up to then, Brian?
He's most probably been asleep because Michelle's at work.
Ah, that's what it is. Ruby, I'm at. Ruby's asking where I am. I'm in Steve's workshop, Ruby. Earworming for him while Nicola entertains Ruth in the other room.
He's took Nick's place, Ruby.
Yes. Brian says he's been busy trying to install his workshop heater.
Oh.
Well, you could have done that afterwards, Brian.
Oh boy, give him a hard time.
It's lovely and warm in this workshop. It's like, I don't know, 25 degrees by now. I can hear this diesel heater just gently wafting warm air over me.
Wafting.
So, Ruby, I'm in Norfolk, really, then?
That little tiny bit, come on, take it. With a sanding pad, I think.
Yes, Pete. Pete's just saying he thinks Steve's lathe's higher than mine, so you'll need a periscope to turn on that. Well, actually, he did say he'll put an 8-inch block there for me to have a go on. So Doug Miller's just joined us. Hello, Doug.
Hi, Doug. How you doing, mate? Right, I think we're nearly there. You wouldn't believe that little tiny bit would to take so long to turn on.
Doesn't matter as long as it comes out nice in the end. Like Martin said the other day on his show he did, you know, this 4-hour epic polishing and sanding. When it was turned out at the end, it was absolutely perfect.
Yep.
So it is worth taking your time on it.
Right, I think we're there. Right, so I need to buff that back, polish that back up to 400. That was 240. So 320, 400. Then we'll sand and seal it. This should get all the fine scratch lines out of it.
Adrian Olsen's just come in. Hello, Adrian.
Hi, Adrian. So then we'll go for. Go on, sorry.
I was just going to say Dave the wood barber's in as well. I mean, so there's.
Hi, Dave. How you doing, bud? Right, that's up to 400. So now we can sand and seal it. Just sealing that little bit of colour as well. So you don't normally put, obviously, sand and seal over resin, but I'm going to because we've got this fine rim here. And also I've got that one heart that we've caught, which is there, that I need to just seal that because obviously that's just gently protruding past the resin. Actually, I'm just going to give that a little bit more colour. This heart here, because that's faded a little bit.
Peter Corrigan's wondering who's covering from you tomorrow. Brian is, Peter. Whether he likes it or not. Scotty Highlander's just joined us from Australia. Hello, Scotty.
Good afternoon. Red everywhere now.
Or as they say over there, g'day, Scotty.
Right, so, a bit of sand and sealer. Let's put that gouge up out of the way. We don't need that now. A bit of sand and sealer. Let's put it on a different camera so you can see.
Keith Jarvis is apologising he's a bit late. You're here, Keith. That's all counts.
Don't need to apologise, mate.
No. Nice to see you.
Right, so just blow that out of the airline. So sand and sealer. Like I say, I don't normally put sand and sealer over resin, but because we've got that one bit that's a little bit protruding, I'm going to, just so we make sure we get it.
You've got to get it right now because there's 63 people watching.
No pressure then.
No pressure.
Thank you all for coming over and joining us. Very much appreciated. And I'm had a good milestone today. 200,000 views since I've started my channel.
Well done.
So I'm really pleased with that. Alright, so coat of sand and sealer, let that dry a little bit and we'll give it another coat. What happened to the coffees? The coffees didn't come.
No, they didn't. No, I think they're but can't be bothered because they're really.
I'm going to ring her. Hang on.
Women don't bring out coffee so they, because you know they're like probably yapping, they're talking about it. I expect that's what it is.
Oh, here we go. What do you want? What do you want, Terry?
I'll cup of tea. Yeah, no sugar. You know, usual thing. Nice strong builder's tea. And quickly, because they're late now. Maybe think they're enjoying themselves. What's going on?
I'm going to put Terry said quickly.
Well, not that quick. We got all afternoon, but you know.
Right. Teas were ordered.
These are ordered.
Oh, thank you very much, Adrian. Thank you very much. Right, so give it another coat of sand and sealer because I want a nice finish in the middle there. So get a nice seal on it. Yeah, I must admit I was quite surprised when I had the notification this morning saying that I had 200,000 views. It was that's a lot of views.
It's brilliant. It's well done, mate. Yeah.
And it's all down to you guys for continuously supporting the channel. I just turn up every week. So nice bit of sand and sealer. Get Yorkshire grit out on that. I'm going to use Nica Fine and Original because obviously we want it over the resin to give us a shine.
Eric Winger's off to church. You got to go. Bye. Bye, Eric.
See you later, Eric.
Say one for me, please. Terry Bartlett reckons the girls are still trying to find the bikinis. Two sugars, says Richard Benton.
That's my dad, Richard.
Yeah, hello, Dad. I'm annoying your son.
What's Ben say, Steve? Tell Nikki that Michelle brings both a coffee and a chocolate bar.
Chocolate bar.
Ooh.
She needs to up her game.
I'll let you tell her that, Ben. I'm not that brave. I know what she's capable of. Right, Yorkshire grit. Nice, generous coat before we start turning it. Now, I don't know if this is going to cut back the colour on that other one, but we'll see what happens. So turn it down a little bit. Gently work this in.
Lawrence Begich is asking, does the sanding sealer affect the resin?
No, Lawrence, it doesn't. It's just obviously sand and sealer is designed to penetrate the wood to seal it. On resin, obviously, you don't need it. If you're doing hybrid work where you obviously got resin and wood, then obviously it's an idea to sand and seal. But if it's just resin, then you don't need to. I've seen a few people do resin pens and then they decide to sand and seal it, which to me doesn't really make sense. But, you know, each to their own.
Dave the Wood Barber reckons there's not enough love gone into the bowl.
The love bowl.
He's all art, mate. He's all art.
Speed up a little tiny bit.
I was just thinking now I've got this keyboard here, I could say things. They come out as Nicola, didn't it? I can really drop her in for next time. Forking Hours is in.
Hi, Rob. Oh, that's not Rob, is it? No, who's Forking Hours? Is it Andrew?
Can't remember.
No, I can't remember. But welcome anyway.
Welcome anyway. FKO. Could be a song there, couldn't it? FKO.
So I'm going to spend quite a bit of time just getting the Yorkshire grit to work on this. So we get a nice finish. I want that resin to gleam. Because I'm hoping with a nice shine on the top of it, the holographic glitter we put in the bottom should highlight really well.
Brian's still working on this heater thing and he's having to try and work out the electrics, but the hard bit now, the electrics.
Oh, Brian, you'll be fine. Mate, if you need help, I'll talk to you after the live and we'll sort it.
I think he'll need help. Just a normal car, Ben. I drove up here, not the combine harvester. Left that home for the kids.
Combine harvester.
Aye. My combine harvester, me boy.
Right, so clean bit of tissue. Speed up a little bit. So that's the microphone. No, it's not a microphone. That's the Yorkshire Grit Original. So as you can see, that's brought out these. It's took the dullness or the dull of the resin out. So it started to illuminate. No, not illuminate. Illuminate the glitter. Don't know if you can see that sparkle. Yeah, you can see it sparkle just about.
Yeah.
So we'll go back with the microphone now and hopefully get a better finish on it.
And it's looking sparkly.
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 So I'm going to microfine the whole bowl because you can use microfine on wood as well as resin, even though it was designed really for resin, but you can use it on wood. So exactly the same principle as the original.
Not being familiar with your computer and how to get a link on here, I don't know if Lewis has got a thing tonight, or Brian. Ah,
If you
there we are.
open a new page, find Lewis's link.
Yeah.
And then just copy and paste it over into
Over to the other page.
over onto the page.
Thank you, mate. Got it.
Brian's as well, if you don't mind, Terry.
Yeah, that's okay. Do that as well. Because Brian might not be here anyway tonight, won't he? Playing with electrics.
If you hear a boom and it shakes the whole country. So this should give us a nice shine. Microfine, I'll take us up to about 2000 grit. So we should get a nice finish for this.
It doesn't look like there's a link here for today. So perhaps he's not got one.
Who's that, Lewis?
Yeah.
Yeah, he perhaps didn't put it up yet.
That's okay. So I'll scrub around that one.
Right, so clean bit of tissue. Hi Rex, how you doing? So just wipe that out, clean it out.
Benjamin is saying that you're getting particularly good, Steve, at getting a continuous curve in the bottom without any humps.
Humps.
I always struggle with that, he says.
Practice, Ben.
Yeah.
I've spent hours and hours and hours practicing. Just getting old rubbish wood, don't matter what it is, just practicing.
Like they say in golf, swing easy. Just take it easy as you go around.
Nice and slow and steady. Don't try and force it. I see so many people when they're turning, and I used to exactly the same when I was turning. I'd force the tool, trying to force the tool to cut quicker than what it's meant to. The time I spent with Martin actually learned me that let the tool do the work. You don't need to do anything. All you're there for is to guide it. So let the tool do the work. Like I say, I was going to undercut this, but actually I quite like the look of that, the way that is. I don't really want to undercut that. I think that would ruin it if I undercut it.
Rex B's. Sorry, go on.
No, you're right. Go on.
Rex B's just joined us. He's sorry his lady was making ice cream scoops for the family at Christmas.
Oh, you're welcome, Rex.
Look at that. Tea's arrived. Going to say hello, Nicky? No? What do you mean no? Not allowed to.
Hey, babe.
Say hello.
Hello.
Yeah, see? She's just come to bring my carrots.
He's been chopping carrots. He's been chopping his make pretend ones.
Yeah, and I got a little onion next. Thank you for the tea, dear.
So there we go, nice and shiny. Well, now we're going to put a finish over that.
Looks good.
So finish we will use, I think my go-to will be Hampshire Sheen High Gloss. Now we can put that over both the wood and the resin to, obviously it's not going to soak into the resin, but it will just hopefully give it a little bit of a better protection and a little bit of a shine. So rub a little bit in there.
Brian's just put his link in for tomorrow's live. His link for tomorrow's live. What's he doing tomorrow? Oh yeah, of course he's standing in for me because I'm on holiday
Again.
again. Lewis has got a premiere tomorrow, not today. So
All right.
I don't know if there's a link. I couldn't find a link, Brian. So you can find business. Oh, you can announce it tomorrow in your live, Brian.
Yeah, tomorrow night, Brian. Lewis normally premieres, doesn't he?
That's it. Yeah.
Right, so let's buff this off.
I forget the days. You know, tomorrow, today. All this travelling.
So that's trouble when you.
Clocks. Yeah.
That's the trouble when you retire. You see, one day just leads into the next.
Next. Yeah. Every day's holiday. Harry Bartlett says no bickies. No, they didn't bring any bickies. We just had a huge, great lunch that Nicola fed us with. So I'm trying not to fall asleep sitting on this chair. Well, I'll fall off. It's a long way down. A long way down. Rex B says a beautiful set of hearts you got there.
Thank you, Rex. It's got a nice shine to it. So just going to buff that again. Just going to give it another coat of wax in there.
Adrian wonders, this is very pretty, Steve. Who do you love so much to give it to?
Oh, I don't know yet. It's Nicola's Christmas present. I ain't told her yet. Ain't told her yet. If I gave her this for Christmas, I'd be on a post.
Yeah, strung up.
Right, let's give it a final buff.
Yeah, Andy H agrees with me. The days just roll into another. They just merge.
Yeah, all right, keep rubbing it in.
I only realise it's Sunday when Tesco's or something shuts at 4.
I'm still dreaming of them days yet.
Yeah, they'll come quick enough, boy. Don't you worry. Heck of a quick.
Right. That's it. So it's getting polished.
We're turning on Barry's got to go and have his dinner.
See that, Barry? Thanks for coming over.
Thank you, mate.
So nice shiny finish. Let's get that. Nice glass like finish on the resin.
Adrian reckons you could give Mike Walt a present.
There you go. As you can see, nice shine on that on the resin. Got an overhead camera, that'd be easy, wouldn't it? Get a light about on it.
Looks good.
So as you can see,
Looks
nice,
lovely. Yeah. Reflection.
nice mirror finish on there. Could do with a little bit more buffing up, but actually I'm going to buff it just a little bit more because I've still got a few little tiny scratch marks on, and we've got plenty of time, haven't we?
Yeah, plenty of time. Yeah. It's only 13:55. So
All right, I've got plenty of time. So I'm just going to go over it with a little bit of cut and paste, just to try and buff it up a little bit better because there's still a few little swirl marks in there that I just want to get rid of.
just to let people know if they didn't realise that Mike Walt was supposed to be on tonight, he's not on.
No,
He's not very well, so
had to cancel, unfortunately.
yeah. Don't blame us.
And apparently it's not alcohol related either.
No, I didn't know.
Right, so just change camera, just buff this up a little bit.
Wrong camera.
On camera. It's a tail camera.
No, we're looking down.
Shouldn't be.
That's it.
So just putting a bit of cut and compound over this just to try and get rid of some of those scratchy marks.
Apparently, I've just put in "looks good, babe."
Have you?
Says Nicky Q says "looks good, babe."
You could talk to yourself. You could talk to each other, and then it'll all be from one person. All right. So we'll see how that looks. It's hard to see on the until you get it out of the lathe. Have a look. Yeah, it's a bit better. Still a couple of little swirl marks in it, but that's a bit better than it was. It's getting close to the heart, so I don't want to take too much off of that, but I'm happy with that. So now we need to take the tenon off the bottom. Since this lot keep moaning at me about doing tenons. So I need to change chucks. And I bet I've got to change where the pins are on the chuck. On the cold jaws.
Dave, the Wood Barber, said at long last Steve's better half's in the chat, but how do you know it's Steve's better half? It could be me spying on myself. Because we're both called Nicola today.
Right, so cold jaws on. Right, so I'm going to have to move these, I think. I've got to take this jacket off. I'm sweating my guts out.
It is rather warm in here.
25 degrees.
Yes, lovely. I wonder whether Brian's ever going to get that.
Oh, don't listen to him, Brian. He don't mean that.
He's working on the electric, so, you know, he might get hotter than you think in less time. Andy H would like to know what sort of timber that is you're using, Steve.
It's a piece of alder.
Piece of alder. The older you get, the better.
Right, so one. So I think we're going to have to put that on the second one from the end. So just quickly change these. This is the thing that makes these jaws a pain in the backside.
Yeah, I only change the buttons.
Especially when you do it all and then you realise you put them in the wrong ones.
But then it does help people, I suppose, if they've never done it before and they just get that. You can show them how to do it. So it's all instructional.
Instructional. I mean, what's the other name of jaws where they're just adjustable? I can't remember what they call them. They're just like all different. You undo them and they've got like a swirly open and close thing on them. I can't remember what they call them. But there are that sort out there, which sort of a lot of people use.
So if you're doing a lot of them, different sizes, you would do.
Yeah.
Adrian Alton says he's been experimenting with the lacquer finish. And he did 10 coats with Yorkshire Grip Microfine between coats. Takes forever, but the finish is like mirror-like.
Yeah, it's all preparation time as well, making sure you cut back in between coats to keep it nice and smooth. The sink I did, that had 9 coats of Rustin's plastic coat, and that came up like a piece of glass.
Brian's still listening even when he can't type in the chat because he's trying to work this out. So he's still alive. David Nichols joined. Hello, David.
Hi, David.
Ruby says that's why she prefers a vacuum chuck. She's too fiddly, you see.
Yeah.
They're called Longworth chucks, Dara says.
That's the one,
That's the one.
Longworth. That's
Yep.
the one. Yeah, that's the one.
I couldn't think of it either.
No. Longworth chuck. Right, so that goes in there. That goes in there. Ooh, I hope that's big enough. Hope I ain't got to move it again.
The jaw's got to open a bit, haven't they? So they may open enough.
Yeah, just. That's it. It's in there. Right, so it's in. Make sure it's. Yep. So just turn this off with a spindle gouge. Finish the bottom off. Like I said, I put a little one. Like I said last week, I put a little bit of a contour in there, just so I've got a little bit of a divot in there, so it sits actually on the rim of on the outer rim, not on the middle of the bowl. So we'll just clean this off.
Pete suggests you could use the friction plate, which is fine.
I'm not that confident yet, Pete.
Heather's in from Spirit, Wind, Stone and Bone.
Hi,
Good
Heather.
morning, Heather.
How are you? Oops. Taurus a little bit high.
Don't forget, people, if you do like what Steve's doing, he'd appreciate you liking the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. Please put a comment below if you have any comment you wish to make, good or bad. We can all learn from it. Gaz Glass Driftwood Turner says, question. Okay, please excuse my ignorance, because he is new. Friction plate. Well, friction plate is basically what Steve's got there without the buttons. You make a plate up, MDF or usually plywood. Make a 3/4 inch plywood plate with a tenon on the back or a mortise on the back. Put it in the chuck. You can put some matting across the face of it, and then you can press the bowl up against it. If you've marked the center of the tenon when you first made it, you can then line that up with the tailstock center, and then gradually turn it off, using it as a friction plate. Hope that helps. Robbo's going. It's bedtime for him.
See you later, Robbo. Thanks for coming over, mate. Have a good night.
Good night, Robbo.
So just take this up to 240. That's 240. Just a bit of cloth just to wipe that off. A little bit of sand and sealer. Just to seal that up.
Chris Dodds reckons sweet dreams, Robbo, but don't dream of pen turning. Well, he's not going to sleep now, Chris, at all.
Nightmare. This zone, if you dare enter it.
Turn your light off and you'll see pens.
Multicoloured resin pens at that.
Yeah, not even wooden ones. New film out tomorrow. Nightmare on Penn Street.
Right, a little bit of Yorkshire grit just to finish this bottom off, keep it nice and smooth. Try and match the rest of the bowl.
David Nicol wants to know, when you add multiple layers of the finish, what do you use to knock them back between the layers?
The finish, as in what finish? The lacquer or wax or what? If you're talking lacquer, I normally, when I'm lacquering, I put my first 2 coats on, 2 fairly dry coats of lacquer. Then I will knock them back up to about 800 grit, or with a like an orange Scotch Brite like this, just so you're taking any of the rough bits of dust or whatever stuck to it, or any swollen grain. Then I will give it another coat, and I will do that process about 7 or 8 times, and then I will, on the before I put the final coat on, I'll sand back up to anywhere between 800 and 1000 grit, and then put my final wet coat on. Not too wet so it runs everywhere, but wet enough so you end up filled with a finished shine, and then leave it to dry for about 48 to 72 hours, and then I would comb back in and sand it back up to again anywhere between 800 and 1000 grit, and then I would then use microfine over the top of that, so that should take you up to about 2000 grit. You can do original if you want to, but I normally just go microfine. And then if you want a better finish, and obviously whatever you're going to use over the top of that to if it's not to your satisfaction or your standard, whatever finish you want to do onto it. I will show you a piece in a minute that I have done, and I will explain to you the process I did on that, and that may help you. Right, so that's final finished.
And it was lacquer you wanted.
Yeah. Right. So this kind of camera that you can see. This is not lacquer, but this is Ruston's plastic coating, which is very similar to lacquer, but it's a paint on or a spray on. But like I say, very similar. So with this, first coat was on, 2 coats, sorry, first 2 coats, then sanded back, then to 800 grit, then I done another coat, and I did that process up to 8 coats. Then I final sanded it, then I wet coated it, and then to finish this with, I sanded to 800 grit, Yorkshire gritted original, Yorkshire grit microfine. Then I used the burnishing cream, and then I finished it with up to a 10,000 car cut and compound. Then I went over the top of it with auto glim car resin polish to give me the final shine. As you can see, that has got like a mirror finish on it. So I know it's a long period of time. It took me about 2 weeks to get that one right. But I know it takes time, but it's worth it in the long run. It does benefit, but like I say, it just takes time. I was always go on. Sorry.
I was just saying that you can see, ladies and gentlemen, is a deliberate funnel because he's made a sink.
Yeah. That was a sink. I was always taught when I used to do quite a bit of work in a paint body shop. When I worked for Ford, we used to strip cars and that down ready for paint. And I used to talk to a lot of the painters there, and they always used to say that the preparation of in between coats is the key factor for having a good finish. Without a good base coat, you ain't getting a good finish. Easy as that. So it's worth spending the time. If you're going to lacquer a piece, you ain't going to get it done to a really good finish in one day. That is for certain. Right, so let's get this coal chuck off of here. Out of the way. Put that back out of the way.
Darren's having to go.
See you later, Darren. Thanks
Hi,
for coming
Darren.
over, mate.
Nearly out past midnight where they are.
Thanks for coming over. So that's that out of the way. Right, so overhead camera. So there we go. I need to just wipe that with a cloth because that's a bit dusty. So there is the finished piece. Nice and shiny. Like I say, it just wants buffing up a bit with a clean cloth, really. It's a few fingerprints on it. So there we
Brent
go.
wants to know if that's a pressure pot or a vacuum chamber on your bench.
It's a pressure pot, mate. It's an old paint pot. It's not actually a pressure pot. It's an old paint pot that I converted into a pressure pot. So there we go. Older bowl. Finished size is external, just under 10 inches. Internal, the cupping out bit is about 6 by 2 inches deep. Outside external depth is 2.5 inches. So nice size bowl. Like I say, it's more decorative than anything.
Nice.
Nice little love hearts in there. Nice little finish. So there we go. Finished piece. So I quite enjoyed doing that over 2 weeks. That's been good. Something for a change.
Katie Shed's just joined us. Sorry, I'm
Hi,
late.
Katie. Hi, Katie. How you doing? So, is there any questions before we go? I ain't even drunk my coffee. I asked my wife to bring me a coffee. I ain't even drunk it.
I've drunk my tea.
Let's come back on camera. So 12 inches.
Nice comments. Awesome piece, Steve.
Thank you very much. I enjoy doing the 2 week pieces because you can put a bit more. I might do a few more 2 week pieces or 2 live pieces because you can put a bit more thought into them and do them a bit more fancy than just finishing the same every
Better
time.
finishes, yeah.
Yeah, so it turns out better.
Rich is on the beard. Hello, Richard.
Hi, Rich. How you doing, mate? So there we go. The finished piece. Don't know if you can see that, can you? I don't want to bring. There you go. Finished piece. Nice shine on that resin. Could be shined a little bit better, but I'm happy with that. It's got a nice finish to it. Shame we hit that heart. I think it was that one actually we hit. I think it was that one. We just took a little bit of the colour out of it. But other than that, I'll get some pictures up after the live, and so you can get a better look at it. But no, I'm happy with that. Really happy. Like I say, it's a piece of elder. First time I turned elder. It's quite a nice looking colour piece of wood actually. So, do you want to come back in here, Terry?
Yes, I suppose. As you can see, the Hobbit returns on my stilts. So, everybody, welcome to Turning with Terry on Sundays next. Been a long journey just to see this. I thought it was that good last time.
Yeah,
I'd come up.
You're full of. I can smell it from here.
Not a bad job, Steve. Really. Right.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Normal service resume next Sunday. I'll put that on there. It's been good. It's been good. I'm not that small, you see.
No. If I stand back here, you stand there.
Look, see, look, we're the same size.
Same
size.
height,
Same height, look, see. In fact, I'm taller than Steve. Look, I'm taller. Taller than Steve. Thank you, mate.
Right, guys. I think here we go. What else are we planning? A Joe Still Spoons resin bowl. Yeah, I remember that, Dave. I don't know if anybody's seen it. I had another blank here somewhere. I don't know if anybody's seen it. Can you go on my channel, Terry, and try and find the spoon bowl? No, go at the top one. The one you was on. The other one you was on.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that one.
Yep.
Spoon bowl.
If you go,
Click there.
no, on the logo.
Right.
Logo. No, let me do it. Is it not going? Was it not? Oh, here we go. Videos. Look.
See?
It was a long while ago. I did a plastic spoon and resin bowl.
Well, you got 200,000 views. It could be miles back.
It's quite a while back. Dave, what sort of time ago was it? Can you remember? Where is it? But I gave it to Dave's wife, or Dave's partner, should I say?
Well, if it's that long ago, it could be his wife now.
Yeah, that's the one, isn't it?
Or could be
There you go.
Could be a new partner.
Yeah, could be. Oh, don't want that one. So just stick that in the link. So if people didn't see that one, the spoon bowl, pop over and have a look at that. Was interesting.
Right.
Yeah, that was done quite a while ago, and I'm glad she still got it, Dave. I really am. Yeah, about 3 years. That was about 3 years ago. Yeah. So yeah, that was a good project, and I did do a second one. I think I've got the blank here somewhere, and I've still got half a bag of spoons. So I may do I may do another one. So yeah, I've just dropped them all over the floor now. So they're calling to get out of the bag. So yeah, that was a good project. Oh yeah, I forgot about that, Dave. But no, I do. Resin used to be my key thing. Once upon a time, that's what I used to focus on more than anything else. But I have got a couple of projects that I'm working on for resin. So there's one here that'll be a resin project. I was lucky enough to win a prize from WH Creations a couple of years ago. So I've cast it in resin, coloured it and cast it in resin. So that's one. And then I have a blank that Mark from Shop Dog sent me that I'm going to also be turning as well. So there'll be a couple of projects there. So with that, I think we'll go. So a massive thank you to Terry for coming over and joining me.
You're welcome.
And thank you for Nick for bringing us the coffees.
You're welcome.
So anyway, here's the... Don't make me laugh.
Can't stop. I'm chopping carrots.
So there we go. There's the finished piece. Like I said, I'll get some photographs up of it on social media later on today. Hope you've enjoyed. Thank you very much all for coming over and joining us. We will be back, or I will be back Friday evening. Don't forget, tomorrow you have Brian at lunchtime covering for Terry because Terry's on holiday again. Then we have then Brian's on again Monday night. I believe, I might be wrong, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm almost sure that Brian's doing a two-parter tomorrow. He's doing part at dinner time, part in the evening, and finishing off in the evening, sorry. And then obviously the normal people are on through the week. So I will be back Friday night. I think it's just a normal turn night on Friday night. There's nothing special going on this week. Thanks to all who came over in the Battle of the Makers. It was an awesome, absolutely awesome night on Battle of the Makers. I nearly wet my pants. It was that funny. And we've got the next one, or the next one's going to be coming out on the 19th of November, and it will be the grand finale because both teams are neck and neck. So next month will be the decider on who wins Battle of the Makers 2021. So I'm looking forward to that, but the questions are going to be super hard. We're going to actually make the questions really, really hard. So we're going to make it a bit more interesting. There might even be some bonus points, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So anyway, thank you for coming over and joining myself and Terry. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, then please smash that thumbs up and share and like and all the other buttons. If you're new to the channel, then if you like what you see, then please think about subscribing. And if you do subscribe, hit that thumbs up button. No, not that thumbs up. Hit the bell button, and then we'll see you on the next live or the next video. I have a video coming out every Wednesday for the next 4 weeks, and I'm hoping to get enough projects done so I can carry on after the 4 weeks. So I've been madly editing the last week 4 videos already for the next 4 Wednesdays. So there'll be a video coming out every Wednesday, 7:30, I believe. So with that, I'm just going to say goodbye. Have a great weekend. Take care, and see you soon. So it's bye from me,
and it's good night from him.
See you later, guys. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thanks.
That's all, folks.